Coming to you on a Friday evening from our Eros Park studios here in the capital, Windhoek. This is the Friday edition of Primetime News. Many thanks for joining us. I'm Michael Madimba. We commence tonight's bulletin from the United Kingdom, where Keir Starmer earlier today became Britain's new Prime Minister after his centre-left opposition Labour Party swept to a landslide general election victory. Rishi Sunak conceded defeat in the poll, which brings an end to 14 years of right-wing Conservative rule. Here are some reactions to the election result.
The Labour Party leader oversaw a landslide victory in Thursday's general election, ending 14 years of rule by Rishi Sunak's Conservatives.
But whether you voted Labour or not, in fact, especially if you did not, I say to you directly, my government will serve you. Politics can be a force for good. We will show that. We've changed the Labour Party, returned it to service, and that is how we will govern. Country first, party second.
A somber Rishi Sunak conceded defeat during a torrid night for his Conservatives that claimed the scalps of at least 12 of his senior cabinet colleagues and his predecessor, Liz Truss.
Good morning. I will shortly be seeing His Majesty the King to offer my resignation as Prime Minister. To the country, I would like to say first and foremost, I am sorry. I have given this job my all. But you have sent a clear signal that the government of the United Kingdom must change, and yours is the only judgment that matters. I have heard your anger, your disappointment, and I take responsibility for this loss. To all the Conservative candidates and campaigners who worked tirelessly but without success, I am sorry that we could not deliver what your efforts deserved.
Sylvia Hashandali reporting for Primetime News.
Back home. The Council of Churches and Namibia Executive Committee Chairperson, Reverend Heinz Moton, says the Council has proposed for a comprehensive review with stakeholders to be conducted regarding the number of registered churches in Namibia to allow for framework regulation of churches. He said this during the committee's courtesy visit to President Nangolo Mbumba earlier today, further stating that different groups have started with the process of a private member's bill to have the government regulate churches in Namibia. Linya Tishena brings us the story.
Regulation and mushrooming churches in Namibia. Mr. President, CCN has taken note of the concern in the media about churches that exploit our communities, especially rape and money laundering. There was a paper article on the 2nd of June 2024 in the Namibian newspaper titled Pastors from Hell, where it was reported that 32 children were raped and sexually violated by pastors in 4 years. It has come to the attention of CCN that different groups have started with the process of a private member's bill so that the government would regulate churches in Namibia. We want to bring it this morning to the attention of His Excellency that CCN is currently not part of this process. We appreciate the work that has been done by others about the regulation of churches. However, at our Council of Church Leaders meeting scheduled for 9th to the 11th of July, we will discuss constitutional amendments of the CCN that will also guide our discussion about the framework for the regulation of churches.
Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Dr. P.M. Shilinga, says business activity between Namibia and Ghana is steadily growing, adding that Namibia can learn a lot from its counterpart in areas such as the oil, agriculture and cosmetics industries, owing to a recent surge in the interest of Ghanaian shea butter by Namibian cosmetic companies. Mushilinga made these remarks during the Namibia-Ghana Joint Permanent Commission of Cooperation held in Swakopmund. Isabel Bento brings us this report.
Through combined efforts to address common challenges and take advantage of shared opportunities for mutual benefit. To this end, we have concluded a general cooperation framework agreement as a platform for promoting bilateral relations and cooperation and enhanced trade between our two countries. Co-Chair, we are on schedule in holding our session for the Permanent Joint Commission for Cooperation, and we need to maintain the periodicity. But more importantly, we now need to find innovative ways to generate momentum in the implementation of these signed agreements. This is the essence of our Permanent Joint Commission cooperation, and it is what our people expect from us. During the last session, we concluded 7 new agreements and several are pending to be concluded during this session.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Industrialization and Trade, Lucia Ipumbu, in a keynote speech, reaffirmed the minister's pledge to uphold the highest standards of professionalism in all customer interactions. She made these remarks earlier today in Windhoek at the launch of the ministry's Ministerial Customer Care Service Charter. More from Sheila Peristrelo.
Ladies and gentlemen, today marks a significant milestone in our journey towards the implementation of the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade's Customer Service Charter. And our excellence in customer service and commitment to transparency and accountability, we are making a pledge today. I am therefore honored to stand before you as we launch our Customer Service Charter, a document that embodies our pledge to prioritize the needs and satisfaction of every individual and organization we serve. And in the realm of industrialization and trade, we understand that our success hinges not only in service we deliver, but on the experience we provide to our customers.
Stay tuned for your top roundup and the business segment. Welcome to the Primetime Biz segment, the slot dedicated to all things business and economics. The segment commences in the capital, where over 600 employees of the Namibia Industrial Development Agency, or NIDA, rejected a 5.4% once-off payment proposal by their management. Now, this follows negotiations held on Wednesday between the NIDA management and Namibia Food and Allied Workers Union representatives after regional and headquarter staff down tools. Our business reporter who was at the scene brings us more.
According to shop steward Marvin Chikongo, wage and employment conditions demands were sent to management last May but fell on deaf ears. Chikongo told Nampa that for grade A, the employees want an increment of 12%, 10% for grade B and 8% for C. They further demand a fixed amount of 2,500 Namibian dollars for seasonal employees. Namibia Industrial Development Agency's Chief Executive Officer Richuel Lukonga told Nampa that the company can only afford the 5.4% once-off payment. Sylvia Hashondali reporting for Primetime News.
In a boost for youth empowerment, close to 60 young people from the Commerce, Hardap and Karas regions benefited from the Namibia Youth Credit Scheme, totaling 406,000 Namibian dollars. Officiating the handing over of the loans to the youth, Deputy Minister of Sport, Youth and National Service Emma Kantima Gaumas noted the created facility aims to promote youth empowerment, enhance participation in economic activities, as well as foster an environment where young people can thrive. Our Karas regional correspondent Suzette Chitaura brings us this report.
Kantema Gaumas said the NYCS aims to promote youth empowerment, enhance participation in economic activities, and foster an environment where young people can thrive. She added that the scheme is a pledge by government to the youth. Namibia faces a high unemployment rate, a challenge that can only be addressed through innovative and robust measures. By equipping you with the skills and resources to start your own business, we are not only reducing unemployment, but also fostering a culture of entrepreneurship and self-reliance, said Kantima Gaumas. The Deputy Minister said for the 2024 and 2025 financial year, the ministry aims to support 70 young people per region with an allocated budget of 10 million Namibian dollars. Keetmanshoop Mayor McDonald Hanser said the scheme stands as a beacon of hope and opportunity for the youth, urging the beneficiaries to become active participants in the economic and social development of the country. Sheila Perestrela reporting for Primetime News.
This concludes this week's top segment. We now consult the weather oracle for the weekend's countrywide weather forecast, followed by a roundup of the latest economic news and the Sport Planet segment. Welcome to the Sport Planet segment, the segment unpacking all things sporting and action. Football dominates the segment. The national men's senior football team, the Brave Warriors, were drawn alongside Cameroon, Kenya and Zimbabwe in Group J of the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. The draw took place in Johannesburg, South Africa on Thursday. Namibia will once again face Cameroon and Kenya, teams they met during the 2023 Ivory Coast AFCON qualifiers held in 2023. In the previous qualifiers for the 2023 Total Energies Confederation of African Football AFCON qualifiers, Zimbabwe and Kenya could not compete due to a suspension imposed by FIFA. The qualifiers for the 2025 Morocco Africa Cup of Nations will be held from September to November 2024. On to the high-octane world of Formula One. Lando Norris showed no ill effects from his recent brush with Max Verstappen as he topped the times in a closely contested open free practice earlier today for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. The 24-year-old home hero clocked a best lap of 1 minute and 27.420 seconds in his McLaren to outpace Lance Stroll in an Aston Martin by a tenth. Oscar Piastri next in the second McLaren, ahead of defending three-time champion Verstappen's Red Bull. George Russell was fifth for Mercedes, ahead of two-time champion Fernando Alonso of Aston Martin, seven-time champion Lewis Hamilton in the second Mercedes, and Ferrari pair Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Esteban Ocon was 10th for Alpine. Stay tuned for your sports roundup. This is where we dock for the night and indeed the week. Much appreciated to our viewers for having cruised the week with us. Another primetime news week awaits next week as from Monday. Catch us then. Don't forget to follow the on-screen prompts to stay on top of developments shaping the local and international fronts. From myself, Michael Madimba, and my tireless crew behind the scenes, blessed night.